Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Aquarius July 2022 Illumination reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. And what does that mean? That means that in today's reading, we are going to be taking a look at a challenge that Spirit is asking you to face and overcome this month that is going to better help you engage with your unique spirit, that part of ourselves that kind of rises up to meet the challenge. And this is all in a better effort for you to unlock those heroic capabilities that allow us to understand our own uniqueness, that better help us see our path, our purpose, and also so that we can eliminate blocks that do not allow the flow of energy to efficiently move through us and to allow ourselves to move with that efficient flow of energy. So we're going to be taking a look both at challenges and blocks, and we're going to jump right in. So Aquarius, let's take a look at what you're bringing to the month of July. So we have the King of Pentacles. That's your internal energy, which is interesting. I feel like Scorpio has been kind of bringing the same energy into their readings as well, and the Fool. So some of you are really contemplating what I would consider either a career move or the potential to change how you make money in your life experience, or how you bring in some type of physical abundance that you're looking for. Okay, and we have the Star in the external environment and the Knight of Wands at the heart of your reading, and we're going to go and further dive into that. Okay, so right off the bat, as I was saying, Aquarius, many of you are kind of looking to see how you want to change up, again, either a work or career focus, or how you want to bring in abundance into your life. Because the King of Pentacles speaks to someone who really is able to work with their external environment to create abundance on a physical level, on either financial, or understands, again, how to maybe utilize their time to be able to bring something tangible into their experience. The Fool is that leaping off energy. It's the start of a new cycle. It's the feeling of kind of almost like clearing the decks, so to speak, where we are sitting here ready to make a change, to jump into the new. And with the Star coming in your external environment, this is beautiful. This is connecting, this kind of ready to do something different with the energy of a great hope, dream, wish fulfillment for yourself. And to have this in your environment shows that right now you're kind of primed. You're in the perfect, things are starting to line up. Let's put it that way. Things are starting to line up for you. And you have kind of almost the auger in your external environment to be able to make this change. What does that mean? That means that right now there are elements of divine timing coming into your experience. And you have this beautiful ability to kind of, I think for some of you, to use that higher vision that Aquarius is so great at tapping into, to be able to kind of see through the veil, to see these things that are starting to line up for yourself, and to see that hope, dream, wish for yourself. And what are you really unlocking about yourself this month? Because, I mean, this is a challenge. It's always a challenge to change something up, to have to either, again, change how we bring in money into our experience, change how we bring in abundance in a physical way. And it can be scary to chase a dream. But what I'm seeing here is there's a progression. So for some of you, you've been kind of holding back for a while. The Four of Pentacles is one where we're kind of clinging to that physical stability that we've created for ourselves, but we're not ready to invest and move forward out of usually it's fear that we're going to lose the stability we currently have, or we don't quite know where to invest our time, energy, money. And so we're kind of just holding and waiting. Now with the Queen of Pentacles coming up after this is showing me that you guys are starting to understand the process that sometimes it isn't about just taking what you have and kind of almost giving it away, giving it to the dream, but not expecting a return or not knowing if you're going to get a return. The Queen of Pentacles shows that there's an understanding and a realization that we we get to nurture something in whatever we want to create for ourselves in the physical. We have to nurture it. This is kind of having that long-term vision of and a single-minded focus of saying, okay, I know I have limited resources at this point, but I know that it's the strength of my ability to nurture something, to do something every day towards nurturing my pentacle into then becoming the king of pentacles, which is really being able to see the fruits of your labor from what you focused on in a very specific way come to be. And this is that beautiful realization that sometimes, we think, well, this is all I have. This is all I have to work with. This is it. And it's the realization of, actually, if I put my time and energy towards something, in addition to me giving up a little bit of what I have now, I can actually grow something to be that much more. And that investment is worth my time and energy. And then we have the Knight of Wands on top of that. And this is the energy of kind of going out there and doing what feels good. This is working with your passions. When I see it with the star coming up, this is going out there and passionately following the dream, almost like connecting the dots. Like, this looks fun to me. This looks fun to me. This feels good. I want to try this out. And in turn, you're going to start to, I think, realize kind of what you're seeing through that veil. It's going to start to become manifest. So there is a lesson here, Aquarius, this month, that it's time to kind of release this. I think for some of you, there's been a hyper focus of really holding back on physical resources. You haven't wanted to put your time and energy into something, or you've been maybe having one foot in, one foot out, or you don't quite know where to invest. So you've just been kind of like hoarding your money. But it's time. It's time to realize that there's a new way for you to, when we think of the King of Pentacles is someone who has mastered how to create abundance for themselves. And for many of you, there's almost like an untapped potential that you're sitting with. And I do get a little bit of the fear of really diving into that aspect, because yes, it does mean that something new it's going to have to change. There's going to have to be a new approach to how you view your time and energy and money. And that might mean that you might have to work a little extra overtime, or you might have to, if you're, let's say, looking to build a business or change a career path, that might mean having to go back to school to learn a new skill set. But as long as it lights your fire, as long as it feels good, and you have a focused eye to what you want to nurture into your experience, what directly ties to your star, you're going to find that you have all the resources and all the energy that you need. And in turn, you're going to unlock this hidden potential within yourself to really bring that abundance you've been desiring, that abundance that really fulfills a deep need within yourself. It feels fun and enjoyable. It kind of lights that spark again in your life and connects you to a deep hope dream within yourself that I think up until now maybe you have not had the vision to be able to really connect with. Okay, so now I'm going to pull some cards here to see what is the block. What is the block that is not allowing efficient flow of energy for you this month? And how can you get past that to really jump back into feeling like you're in flow? So let's see. What does Aquarius need to know about blocks this month? Okay, so we have Strength. We have Ace of Swords. So Strength, that is a beautiful card to come out, but it's in your challenge position. And I think rightfully so. It takes strength to get ready to leap off the cliff. The Fool is the zero. It harnesses the energy kind of what I like to call the 0 point field, or the concept of zero in the tarot, which is that beautiful place where everything is possible. It's kind of like going into the cosmic soup and realizing that you can truly have that cosmic reset, that what has been can be wiped away, and you can kind of pull from the ether to create the next cycle moving forward. But there's almost this having to have true divine faith that you can take that step off of that ledge And just like in the movie Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, your foot will hit that invisible path that you can't see, but only your inner knowing can see. It is that true place of faith and understanding your own capabilities of creating for yourself, along with that element of co-creating with spirit. Okay, so then we have 7 of Cups in the heart of your reading. And we have beautiful 3 of Pentacles. Now, where strength can become that challenge is when we just, it's one of 2 things. It can be where we just feel like, well, I'm not strong enough. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can take that leap. I don't know if I can make that change. I don't know where this is going to land me. I don't know if I can invest. I don't know if I can change up my level of stability to just go out and do what feels good. And this is saying it's time to focus, and it's time to realize that strength that comes through here, that kind of lion-hearted strength. And in this tarot deck, harnesses the energy of number 11, which is that taking what is and being able to walk through that doorway with spirit, with faith to what can be in our life. And it can be scary because there's that feeling too. Sometimes like we feel like we don't deserve it. Like, is this really for me? Am I really strong enough to meet my dream, to make it real, to make it manifest? Can I really be able to make that business work, to make that career move work, to make my time and energy invested in something return the dream to me? And this is saying yes, very much so. Spirit is asking you to dig deep within yourself. The one thing I've realized in life, in just my own personal experience, is that we never are called to do something, meaning we never see something that we want for ourselves. It's never held out of reach as a point of a spiritual test or a dangling carrot that you're never going to reach. It's something that is meant to lead us further down the path, but ultimately for us to fulfill for ourselves. But we have to be the willing participant in that. It's true to a certain extent that dream can become a dangling carrot, and we may never get there if we choose not to have the courage to take the leap. When you think of the movie, for those of you who have seen it, the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, if he had not had the faith to take that step from, off that stone ledge across the void, the abyss between the 2 places that he was trying to get across to, he would not have fulfilled his heroic destiny, and his father would have died, and the bad guys would have won, so to speak. And that's kind of what we have to keep in mind, is that we all have a divine potential destiny. We all have a divine design. And that's why we get these callings, we get these urges, we get these insights into that dream. We get to see kind of beyond the veil, but we're asked to have the courage to meet it, because when we have that courage, that's where we get to see what we're truly capable of. That's where we get to step up into that heroic place. But for some of you, what you're being reminded of here with the Knight of Wands coming in is that it doesn't have to be all just scary and hard work and having to kind of start from the bottom and claw your way to the top. It's realizing that actually when we just focus on what we want to nurture into existence, and we just kind of keep our eye on the prize, that it can feel good. It can feel fun. It can feel almost kind of that cathartic release of, oh my gosh, I'm just going into the cosmic soup. I'm pulling towards me what I want. And I have faith in my own ability that there is something within me that is going to be able to meet this challenge, that's going to be, I have a skill set within me to be able to, I've already created stability for myself on some level. I can level up now with what I've learned from that. Because with the Ace of Swords, this is clarity. This is that gift from the divine of, okay, I see my truth. I see the way forward. There's an opportunity to kind of cut through all of that fear and the muddle and the I don't knows. And it's like all of a sudden you have the clarity as to what you want. Now, what's interesting is that the 7 of Cups is coming up in the heart of your reading. And this is what Spirit's actually asking you to embrace to help you move through this block, to really open up the channel of efficient flow of energy in your life again. And it's interesting when this comes up in the heart of your reading, because the Seven of Cups can sometimes, kind of like how the image in this tarot deck shows it, can almost feel like you're being tortured, where it's like there's all these options out on the table for you to find emotional fulfillment, and yet we don't know which is the right one. I could do this, I could do that, I could do this, I could do that. And what I think Spirit's asking you to embrace, because sometimes this can be a card of where we're too focused without. We're too focused on what could fulfill us from the external environment versus what we actually need fulfilled within our own cup and what we truly bring to the experience. So if we chose that or we chose that, it doesn't really matter in the long scheme of things. It's, does that thing fulfill a need within our own cup, and can we then also pour from our emotional cup into that to make it what we want? That any option could be something we enjoy. It's just how we choose, our perspective and what we choose to bring to it. But I think for you in this case, Aquarius, is that there's this feeling of remembering that there are a bazillion options out there in many different ways to share your cup, to emotionally invest in something. And that's almost like I'm getting the feeling here, I'm hearing like the world's your oyster. And it's not about kind of getting stuck in that point of like, well, which cup is my cup and what's the right one? It's saying, if you take the Knight of Wands with the Seven of Cups, he's going to just go out there and try them out. He's going to say, okay, I'm going to just, I'm going to pick up this cup and I'm going to drink from it. And I'm going to see, like, do I enjoy this? Is this fun? Is this a drink I feel I want to take forward with myself? Or can I turn over here and quickly kind of change a little bit? And there's a feeling like when we're thinking about starting a new cycle that, yeah, it is kind of like looking at the world again like that. The world is my oyster, and there are so many things out there that can feel good, that I can emotionally invest in. And it doesn't have to be this, if I choose the wrong one, then the game is over. It's a testing as you start the next cycle here with the Fool coming in. It's the testing out of, well, what actually is this going to look like? What is it going to feel like for me? And is it here? Or is it here? Or is it here? And it's saying it doesn't really matter where you end up, as long as it feels good, as long as you know what you want to nurture, and as long as you are keeping an eye on what you want, because that's what's coming up here on the other side, the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is having the vision to what you want to build and who you want to build it with, because there's always the aspect of bringing others in to help build the dream here with the Three of Pentacles. So, if that dream is to build a new business, well, who are the people you want to come in to help you with that? Or if the dream is to start a new cycle, let's say in your, romantic experience, and you want to create abundance in that capacity, well, then this is saying, okay, who do I want to bring in to help me, see my life move from maybe a single life living in an apartment to a married life with the home and the kids and the whole, whatever it is that you want to build for yourself. But it's realizing that you don't have to get stuck here in the, what if I choose the wrong one? It's saying there's a lot of options out there. It's just you going out with your, again, what you want to nurture, going out there with that vision and inviting others to come in too. Sometimes we feel like when we're starting a new chapter, we have to have the strength to do it alone. That it's just us. We're the ones that have to invest. We're the ones that have to have the focus. We're the ones that have to choose the right cup. And, that's the one thing with the Knight of Wands. It harnesses the energy of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is not meant to be a singular kind of lone wolf or the person on the island. Sagittarius is meant to be out there, is meant to be gaining new information. The beauty of the energy of Sagittarius is that you, through direct experience with other people, other cultures, other locations, you get to garner, or you grab all of this information, and it's almost like you get to cross-pollinate You get to learn a little bit from this, and you get to bring that in over here, and then you get to bring a little bit of this over here. And so it's a beautiful energy of learning through direct experience, but also learning through direct experience what comes from when you do what you're passionate about, when you bring your passion into every action step that you take. Now on the moving forward from the Three of Pentacles, you have the Three of Cups, and this is in your final challenge position. This is, who do you want to celebrate with? Who do you want to share your cup with? Where can't, and it can be scary, because this might mean that you have to maybe change a social circle, or you have to, maybe with this, feeling here, maybe you're realizing something about your cup that is maybe something you haven't shared previously, and now you want to go out there and you want to share it in a new way. That you're going through this kind of internal change of a cycle, wanting to feel like you're ready to jump off the cliff and do something new. And that might mean that you have to show up a little differently. It also means that there are people around you that are there to support you as well. And that can be, again, kind of scary, especially if you've kind of isolated yourself and you've been sitting with this. Because, also the Queen of Pentacles can be kind of isolating too. She's very focused on nurturing what she wants. She's, knows the investment she had to put into something. And then all of a sudden just be like, okay, well, now I'm going to go out and show my baby to the world. That can be very scary. And it makes you feel like, well, who's out there to support me? And who's going to be out there to support my vision? And I think for some of you, that is part of the dream, is to find that support, to find that those people who are going to meet your cup with their cup equally, the people who do see your vision without you having to, I think, sell them on it. There is this quality when the star comes up of it's something so deep within you, it's almost very hard to speak it into existence in a tangible way, meaning it's almost like that feeling of deep nostalgia of returning to something you always knew was going to be yours, but it's hard to say like it's this, and this. Sometimes it's just that feeling of, I know I can do more, and I know I want to work for myself. And it could be something just that deep, or I know my dream is to feel free in my life experience, and I know I can build a life that can feel that way, but I don't quite know what the details are going to look like. And that can be hard when you're trying to share that with others in a way where you feel like maybe they're going to, turn their back on you. But this is saying this is time to lean into the support of others. The Three of Cups really, especially coming through in this position, is really stating that to me, that they can also perhaps help you get through this kind of Seven of Cups of saying, hey, like, I've tried this out. Maybe you should look over here. Like, let's all go look at it together. And you're not going to be sitting here kind of with this, internal clarity, but then getting muddled with, yes, but I don't know what's going to feel good. And it's saying what's going to feel good are the people you choose to bring into you. What's going to feel good is you working towards the dream and towards you building it. What's going to feel good is you doing what feels good. And that's what brings the dream to you. But you have to have the strength to start this new chapter, to kind of clear the decks, clear the, wipe that chalkboard clean and realize, okay, what is the dream? What do I want to build? What have I been nurturing that now I need to go out and share with others? And how can, and through me sharing that with others and letting others come in to help support, how am I going to be able to build this bigger and better? How am I going to be able to truly build the next kind of kingdom for my internal King of Pentacles? Because it has to start with the vision. It has to start with you're laying a new foundation. It's interesting here that it's almost like he's taken that pentacle and finally invested it over here. And yeah, it looks like, you're going down to 3, but actually this is this card itself harnesses far greater potential than the stagnation that was happening over here. This is where there's movement. This is where when you think of the threes, it's almost like a wheel, right? Things are moving forward again. There's an element of divinity and divine timing and divine design. And this is what you're being asked to. This is, I think for some of you, that's the thing, that the flow of energy is being blocked towards you really being in flow with an aspect of your divine design this month. So really lean into whatever you have to give up a little is going to be returned with building, with bringing in the people who want to help build the dream and getting moving forward on this new start, this new cycle for yourself. Okay, so let's go ahead now. I'm going to pull 3 cards at the bottom for the concept of curiosity, courage, and contemplation. And we are going to, oops, I think I have the deck upside down. Oh, no, I don't. Let me see here. Sorry, guys. It looks like I accidentally put the deck. I don't like to have things just come out willy-nilly. I don't put reversals in my deck, so I apologize. I was playing with these decks with my daughter a couple of days ago, and I did not realize we had, looks like put many of these in upside down, so I'm going to just right side all this up. My apologies, but you get to see this beautiful deck and all the cards in it, which I love. I do love this oracle deck. Okay, there we go. So let's do it. It's a good shuffle there. Okay, Aquarius. So this, I'm going to pull a card here for curiosity, and this is where Spirit would like you to really utilize the power of curiosity to stay open to this energy, because this is really where a miracle is going to come in. There's going to possibly where this Ace of Swords, this clarity is going to come in for you. But when we think of curiosity, curiosity is really what keeps us moving down our path, right? It keeps us moving forward because we're curious about what's the next bend in the road, and we stay open and optimistic towards what's waiting there to meet us. And that's the beauty of curiosity. It actually helps go hand in hand with the Fool, that I'm curious about what's around that bend, what's the next step for me, and we get excited instead of anxious. And that's really that beautiful, fun, anticipatory feeling. Okay, so you have 2 cards that came out here, one face up and one face down. So we have Victory, number 28, breaking down to a 10, further breaking down to a 1, start of a new cycle. And we have Woman Holding a Heart, number 44. It's an angelic number. Oftentimes I see it myself personally as a divine timing number, but also one that breaks down to an 8, which is the number of personal empowerment. It's also the number of that goes hand in hand with creativity and physical abundance. So I think for some of you, there's a victory here with this coming face down. I think there's been a point, and it doesn't matter the gender. This is just more about victory over what's lying within your heart. I think for some of you, for quite a while, your heart was closed off. You maybe were holding yourself back, and maybe that's really where this came from as well, that there's a part of you that really wanted to invest in the dream. You know, when we think of kind of the Queen of Pentacles, there is this kind of maternal energy that comes through investing in, yes, a pentacle, something tangible, but when we invest that heavily in something, when that focused in something, that does get straight to our heart. We've put our kind of blood, sweat, and tears into something, and we really want to take it out there and have it be worth what we were hoping our time and energy would be worth. But there is a feeling here coming through very strongly. If many of you have had your heart chakra kind of closed, you've been focused, I think, a lot on manifestation for yourself, a lot on getting yourself to a point of physical security. And I think now the victory that's coming in is you being able to open that heart chakra again, you being able to really get into that place of passion that comes when we know what we love, and when we are ready to emotionally start to go out there and bring ourselves fully, that full emotional commitment, when we start to bring ourselves to the party again. And when I think about being curious, there's going to be a victory this month, I think, for you over where you've kind of closed yourself off on a heart chakra level. So keep that in mind for some of you. Where can you be curious about opening yourself up? Because there is a victory here for you. This card is coming through very clearly, and that this next cycle, I think, is really going to start with that victory. That this is going to be a very heart-centered, and it can't help but be that when we're working with the star, because the star is all about working with that energy of love. That's truly the efficient flow of energy we all want to utilize in our life. And it's what we are divinely designed to make use of. But where can you be curious as to where you've been kind of holding yourself back in that heart chakra space, and where you can start to open yourself up, where you can be curious about where you can start to let in something that you've been closed off to, whether this is love from another individual, whether this is love and support just from others in general, or whether this is actually just a love of your life experience, a love of doing what feels good again, a love of being able to tap into the beauty that is your life experience, and that's waiting for you to jump out there again. Okay, so now Aquarius, I'm going to pull a card here for the concept of courage, and this is where Spirit would like you to have the courage to take action this month, or what to keep in mind as you are garnering the strength and the courage to take action, to take this leap, to really leap into a new level of abundance for yourself with full faith that you have already put in a lot of work towards it. But if you can take that first step with faith, I think it's going to, again, open up so much for you here with the Three of Pentacles. Oh, and I love it. Of course it comes up for you, Aquarius. It says, surrender comparisons with other people. It says, keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your own strengths, attractiveness, and power. And, Aquarius, you are a sign that really does show the rest of us how to be unique. You tap into, when I talk about divine design, there are three basic principles that divine design, whether it is just looking at the universe and how the universe functions, or how the individual functions. There are three basic principles that speak to divine design, and that is balance, efficiency, efficient flow of energy, and uniqueness. And you really tap into that third part of showing everybody how uniqueness is very important in the divine design, that we each have to come up with these kind of radical new ideas at times, or see something in a new way. And it's important that you keep your eyes trained on yourself and that you don't compare yourself to others, because that's where those insights, those changes, those innovations come through. And yeah, maybe other people are doing it, have always done it in a specific way, but that's not a motto, Aquarius, you subscribe to. So, you're really being asked here to just get down to the essence of who you are as an Aquarius, which is someone who can think outside the box, someone who can see a bigger picture, someone who can see possibly a better way. And to really just realize you have your own internal power here. That's really showing that clearly with the King of Pentacles. And you have the ability to attract others towards you who want to build with you as well. But you can't compare your life experience to others. So for instance, if you feel the calling to start a new business, but that new business is in some realm of some esoteric topic, or it's based around the invention of something completely new, and you're like, but no one's done this before, and people think it's a silly idea, and it's saying, well, really, the strength of what we build for ourselves comes from our own internal strength, courage, and our courage to have faith in that. No one can give you faith. You have to have the strength to have faith in yourself. And I think that this is a beautiful month for you really to open up your heart chakra, to love yourself, to love your life again, and to see the beauty of the uniqueness of yourself, and understand that that's what you're really diving into with this next cycle is, who are you? What are your own strengths here? And how can you integrate that into fulfilling your dream? Okay, and then last but not least, we have pull a final card here for contemplation, and this is really speaking to a final message that Spirit would like you to keep in mind as a point of reflection for the month to really help ground this reading and for you to just kind of stay focused. You know, when you start to lose sight of your day and you realize at 5 o'clock you don't even remember what you did earlier in the day, bring yourself back to this message and really remind yourself again that this month is about the new. It's about taking those chances. It's about making that investment in the future for yourself, and a future that is going to feel good. It's going to feel fun. It's going to allow you to tap into that beautiful Sagittarius energy of finding for yourself what feels good, what emotionally satisfies you. And it's interesting because I don't know if this was one of the two signs I literally just recorded for, got this exact same card. So it says, Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? And I think this is really sums up this whole thing of what I was kind of feeling so much, is that we feel called. We see the dream. We see what we want to build. We see what we want to kind of go out and do. And we have to trust that. We have to have faith. We have to go out there with our heart fully open and listen to the call. Feel it, but it has to come from the heart. It has to really come from that place of what's gonna help you actually be able to kind of see through this. That yes, the world's your oyster, but there's one area that you're really feeling called towards, and that's your star. And it's about keeping your heart, not even your eyes, but your heart trained on that. And that's what's going to allow you, with this beautiful clarity of the mind coming through, it's going to allow you to kind of bring the head and the heart into a beautiful place of, okay, I can do this. I can see the way forward. I can feel the way forward. And I know this next cycle is about me being me. Beautiful reading, Aquarius. If you'd like to join me in the extended, you can click on the Vimeo link in the description box below. We will be pulling clarifiers for all the cards on the table, and then we will be diving deeper into the energy of romantic love for the month of July. If you'd like to book a personal reading or just learn more about me, you can visit my website at IamIlluminated.com. The link is also in the description box below. But if I don't see you in either of those two places, Aquarius, have a wonderful month of reconnecting with what makes you unique, with what you love, and get ready to start to welcome in others who want to build the next chapter with you. All right, I will see you next month for August reading. Bye, Aquarius.